Welcome to the OR course. Today we are going to discuss two-phase method by the example. Here I am taking one example. Using two-phase method, using two-phase simplex method to solve the following LPP. Minimize x1 plus x2 subject to the constraints 2x1 plus 2x2 greater than or equal to 4, x1 plus 7x2 greater than or equal to 7, and x1 x2 greater than or equal to 0. Here, coming to the problem, here they are given minimize. What is this? Minimize means objective function. And here coming to the constraints, you have two constraints. Those two are the greater than or equal to type constraints, and x1 x2 greater than or equal to 0. This is a non-negative constraint. This is a non-negative constraint. Next, coming to the solution, here what they are asking, two-phase simplex method. If they didn't ask, solve the problem by using two-phase simplex method. We may go for graphical method or we may go for simplex method. Okay, based on the feasibility. Here in our problem, we have two decision variables. Here we have the possibility to solve this problem by the help of graphical method. Maybe if they not ask, maybe we are going to solve the simplex also. But coming to the simplex method, we have one difficulty. It is not in standard form or it is not in conical form, simplex conical form. Here, why it is not in conical form means here the objective function is a minimization type and the constraints are greater than or equal to type. What is our simplex conical form? In simplex, we have to take the objective function is a maximization and all constraints are must be less than or equal to type, but it is opposite. So it is not possible to solve in simplex method. That's why they are mentioned two-phase simplex method. Why we are taking the two-phase simplex method? Where we are taking the two-phase simplex method? Where the constraints are greater than or equal to type or equality type constraints we have in a problem. There we use two-phase method or big M method to solve that particular problem. Okay. Coming to the two-phase method. Here we are going to converting the given problem, given LPP into a standard form. Here we have what is the standard form in two-phase method. We have the rule. What is the rule? We have to convert the two-phase rules. We have to convert objective function minimization to maximization, where z dash means minus z. Okay, first we have to convert minimization into maximization, then we convert inequalities into equalities, inequalities into equalities. Okay, then while we are converting inequalities into equalities, by adding, we have to add surplus variables, slack variables, artificial variables which are required. Where we are adding the surplus variables and artificial variables, whether the constraint is a greater than or equal to type, there we add the surplus and artificial variables. Whether the constraint is a less than or equal to type, we simply take the slack variables. If the constraint is a equality type, just only we take the artificial variable. After converting the inequalities into equalities, we have to convert the objective function into a standard form. We are balancing the objective function based on these variables, these slack, surplus and artificial variables. Here we have to revise the objective function maximize z is equal to, suppose example for example x1 plus and so on plus slack variables plus surplus variables minus a1, a2 like that. Here what are these a1, a2? These are the artificial variables based on the constraints. If suppose we have two greater than or equal to type constraints, we may get two artificial variables. If it exceeds, the artificial variable count also exceeds in objective function. Here what is the native? Here we are taking the contribution value is -1 for the maximization case. Okay, and after converting the objective function into this form, then we are going to the phases. we are converting this object function into two phases. In first phase, we take only artificial variables. Coming to the second phase, other than artificial variables, we take the remaining all variables. Okay. Now we are going to apply the simplest method to this object function. Okay. Coming to the solution. Here we converted the object function to maximization. What is our object function? What in our problem? Our problem, we have the object function is minimum of x1, x2. Minimize z is equal to x1, x2. This is our original object function in our problem. Here we are converting this object function to maximize z is equal to minus x1 minus x2. By multiplying the minimized object function, we get this. Here where z dash means minus z. Then coming to the subject to the constraint. Here what is our first constraint? Our first constraint is 2x1 plus x2 greater than or equal to 4. This is our first constraint. Here we converted this inequality into equality by adding the surplus variable and artificial variable. Okay. Next phase. Similarly, coming to the second constraint. Here what is our constraint in our problem? x1 plus 7x2 greater than or equal to 7. This is our constraint. Here we are converting this inequality into equality by adding the surplus variable and artificial variable. Okay. Next. After converting this, we are going to the phases. Coming to the first phase, this is phase 1. This phase starts by considering the following auxiliary LPP. Here we have taken the maximize z is equal to minus a1 minus a2. After converting the inequalities, we have one objective function. What is the objective function? Maximize z is equal to minus x1 minus x2 plus s1 plus s2 minus a1 minus a2. This is our new objective function. After converting the inequalities into equalities, we get this objective function. Here why we get minus x1 minus x2? Here we are converting the minimization objective function into maximization. That's why we get minus x1 minus x2. Here what are the s1 s2? Here these two are the surplus variables. Then what is this a1 a2? Artificial variables. Why we get these surplus and artificial variables? In our problem, the constraints are the greater than or equal to type. That's why we are converting that inequality into equality by adding the surplus variables and artificial variables. Okay. Here now coming to the two phase. Here we are going to convert these object function into the two objective functions. First phase 1, we have to take one object function, that is only artificial variables we have taken here. Maximize z is equal to minus a1 minus a2. This is in phase 1. Next, coming to the constraints, 2x1 x2 minus x1 a1 4 x1 7x2 s2 a2 7. Okay, it is well known. We know how we get this. We know that how we get this. We are converting the inequalities into equalities. We get this linear equations. Okay. Next, now we are going to the solution that is presented in table 1. Here, coming to this table. This is the table of simplest table. This is a simplest table. Okay, it is a standard table. Here, the structure of this table is common for all cases, all simplex cases, whether it may be big M or whether it may be normal simplex method or it may be two-phase simplex method. The structure is common for all. Okay, what is the structure? First column we have the CB. What is the CB? Contribution value of objective function or basic variables. Contribution values from the object function for basic variables. Okay, then B means, what is the B here? B is the basic variable. B is the basic variable. Then XB is the infeasible solution of basic variable or solution value of basic variables. And here Cj is the coefficient of variables. It may be decision, or it may be surplus, or it may be artificial, or it may be slack. Coefficient value of objective function. Okay, simply that this is a minimum ratio. When we get the minimum ratio column, whether the objective function is whether the function is not satisfied, it means Cj minus Zj less than or equal to 0. If it satisfies, other than that, we may go for the minimum ratio, and we may go for the key column, key row, and key elements for getting the new variables. Okay. Here, coming to this, these two are the solution variables or basic variables. How we get these basic variables? From this. Here we have 4 variables in first constraint, and second also we have 4 variables. Total how many variables are there? Total we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 variables are there. 6 variables. Those 6 variables, those 6 x1, x2, s1, s2. These are called as the non-basic variables. Non-basic variables. Then a1, a2 are the basic variables. Why we take these are the basic variables and these are the non-basic variables? Why we call? Here we have one rule. Before the equality we have one variable. That variable is called as the basic variable. Then remaining all variables in that particular linear equations are called as the non-basic variables. Here all non-basic variable values are is equal to 0. We have to take the non-basic variables are equal to 0. While we substituting the non-basic variable value 0, here we get from this equation a is equal to 4. Similarly here we get a2 is equal to 7. Okay. Next, coming to the table. Here, what are the how we get this? We discussed just a1, a2. These are the basic variables, and this is the coefficient of basic variable. It is came from the object function. Here, what is our object function? Maximize z is equal to minus a1 minus a2. Here, what is this a1? This is the artificial variable, and what is this minus? That is the coefficient of basic variable. So simply we take minus 1, minus 1. Then these are the solution values. From this we get a1 is equal to 4, a2 is equal to 7. These two are the solution variables. Next, coming to this x1, x2, s1, s2. These are the non-basic variables. These non-basic variable values are not appeared in a object function. That's why we are taking all non-basic variable coefficients are 0 here. Next, coming to the a1, a2. These are the artificial variables. These are the these variables are available in object function. That's why we are taking minus 1, minus 1. Next, coming to this. This is the profit function. This is the function, profit function. Why we are taking this is a profit function? Our case is a maximization. That's why we call this is the profit function. Okay. Next, this is Cj minus Zj. We are going to check the optimality based on this Cj minus Zj. The coefficients of linear equations. What is our first linear equation? 2x1 minus plus x2 minus s1 plus a1 is equal to 4. This is our first equation, first linear equation. From this we get 2. 2 is the coefficient of x1 and 1 is the x2, and s1 is minus 1. There is no s2, that's why we are taking 0. Similarly, we are going to the second linear equation. Here we get the second linear equation value is 1, 7, 0, minus 1, 0. It means the second linear equation is x1 plus 7x2 minus s2 plus a2 is equal to 7. This is our second linear equation. From this we are taking the x1 value is 1, x2 is 7, s2 is minus 1, a2 is 1. Then remaining two variables are not available in this linear equation. That's why we are taking 0. Next, coming to the Zj value. Here how we find this Zj value? How we find these Zj values? Based on the solution value and coefficient of particular column from the table. We are getting the ZJ values. Here, suppose coming to the first column, ZJ. Coming to the ZJ values, how we are going to find the ZJ value? If we assume this is Z1, Z2, Z3, Z4, Z5, Z6, now we are going to calculate the Z1 value. Z1 is equal to coefficient of basic variable into coefficient of linear equation. Coefficient of linear equation. Here coming to the Z1 is equal to minus 1 into 2 plus minus 1 into 1. From this Z1 we get minus 3. This one. Next coming to Z2. Z2 is equal to like that. Minus 1 into 1 plus minus 1 into 7. From this we get 8. Minus 8. Like that we are going to find S1, S2, A1, A2. Okay. After getting the ZJ values, we may go to calculate the CJ minus ZJ values. Okay. Here, what is the CJ minus ZJ? From where we get this CJ minus ZJ value? CJ minus ZJ is here. What is the CJ? Coefficient of objective function. Okay. CJ means first we have 0. So 0 minus of minus 3 is equal to we get 3. Okay. Next 0 minus of minus 8 is equal to 8. Like this we get. These are all values. Okay. After getting this, now we are going to check the optimality. Here CJ minus ZJ, if the CJ minus ZJ value is greater than 0, less than 0, the solution reaches the optimality. We are going to find the optimal solution. Here in our case, one positive value is there. 3 means greater than 0. If this 8 is there, it is also greater than 0. So then remaining 4 are satisfied, but coming to first 2, it is not satisfied. That's now we are going to identify the minimum value from this table. What is the minimum value from this? What is the minimum value here? Here the minimum value is 3 and maximum value is 8. In our case, object function is a maximization type. So we are going to take the maximum value. Okay, if it is a minimization type, we are going to take the minimum value. Our object function is maximized, that's why we are taking, this is the key column. Okay, and this variable is called as the entering variable. And this is called as the key column. Okay, now we are going to find the key row. How we find the key row? By calculating the minimum ratio, we get the key row. Here the minimum ratio we get from the solution value and the particular key column value. Coming to the first row, what is the solution value? Solution value is 4 and particular column is key column value is 1. 4 by 1 is equal to 4 or 4 by 1. Directly we are taken here. Next coming to the second row, XB value is 7 and X2 value is also 7. It is equal to 1. From these two, which one is the minimum? Here this one is the minimum. This row is called as key row. Okay, and just simply take this row and take this column. Here this meeting point is there. These two meeting point. These two common areas, the common point is there. That point is called as key element. That one is called as key element. And here this variable is called as leaving variable. Leaving variable. For further iterations, we are removing this A2 by replacing the entering variable, that is X2. Okay. While we are replacing the artificial variable by other variables, that is called as that particular variable we are removed for further iterations. Okay. Here we are. This is the key element, key column, key row. Now we are going to the other iteration. For further iterations, we have one rule is there. Okay, we have to replace leaving variable with entering variable. Leaving variable with entering variable. The second rule is, if the leaving variable is a artificial variable, we have to remove that particular column for further iterations. Next, coming to the third one, while we are converting the problem while we are satisfying the Cj minus Zj less than or equal to 0 by doing the iterations. For the iterations, we have to do key element value is equal to 0. Then the remaining elements are the remaining variables of that particular key column. We have to convert the value is equal to 0. Here now coming to this table 1, here we have 7. It is a key element. We have to do this one is equal to 1. Then this value we have to do is equal to 0. Now we are going to the new table. Here we have to take the iterations. If we assume this is a R1 old row, sorry R2 old, and this is a R1 old, we have to change this like R1 R2 new. It means when we are taking R2 first, here the key row is available at R2 and key element is available at R2. R2 new implies R2 old by key element. Sometimes we may take this is into key element by multiplying the key element. Okay, R2 new implies R2 here. The R2 old is coming to the key column. R2 old is 7. 7 by key element. What is the key element? 7 is equal to 1. For further iterations, here we get the value is 1. Next, coming to the first column, 7. Here 7 is there. 7 by 7. Again, we have to get 1. Here 1 by 7. Again, we get 1 by 7. 0 by 7. Minus 1 by 7. 0 by 7. 1 by 7. It means 0, 0. And here we replace this by entering variable, that is x2. We are going to replace this a2 by the x2. Next, coming to the second column. Okay. Here now we are coming to this. This is row 1 new, second row. Next, R1 new. What is our rule? We have to convert this is equal to 0 based on the new rule. Based on the new rule. What are the new row values? X2, 1, 1 by 7, 1, 0, minus 1 by 7, 1 by 7. This is removed. Why? Because we removed this for further iteration. Why? Because it is a leaving variable. Okay. Next, coming to this, based on this new row, we have to convert this row. R1 new is equal to R1 old. Here, what is the value? R1 old minus 1. Then what is the new row value? 1 is there. Simply we take R2 new. Okay. Next, what here coming to this? 4 minus 1. 3 we may get. 2 minus 1 by 7 we get here. 1 minus 1 0. Here minus 1 minus 1 minus 2 minus 1 0. Like this we get this here. Okay. These are the values occurred by applying these row iterations. Okay. From these row iterations we get this table. Now again we are going to calculate Zj, Cj minus Zj. Okay. Here coming to the Cj minus Zj, here we have the greater than value. Greater than 0 is there. This is also greater than 0. From these two we are going to identify the key column. Which one is the key column? Here from these two values, which one is the maximum value? This is the maximum value. So this column is called as key column and this variable is called as entering variable. Okay. From this basis, we are going to calculate the key row value. How we calculate the key row? Key row is calculated from the solution value and key column value. Here from this we get minimum ratio 21 by 7, 7. In these two, this is the minimum value. So we take this row is called as hero, and this element is called as T element. This variable is called as leaving variable. For further iterations, this is the artificial variable. It means for further iterations we have to remove this particular column. Okay, by applying the row iterations. This is the iterations we are going to apply for this table. Then finally we obtain this table. Here we get x1, x2. Here there is no artificial variables, and here Cj minus Zj greater than or equal to 0. So less than or equal to 0. So the problem reaches the optimality. Hence the phase 1 is completed. The optimal solution of the new object function is z dash is equal to 0. Here the phase 1 is completed. Now we are going to the phase 2. While we are going to the phase 2, we have to check the phase 1 solution. If the objective function, we get the objective function value is zj is equal to 0, and the solution value, it means Cj minus Zj is less than or equal to 0, the solution reaches the optimality. Now we are going to the second phase. Otherwise, sometimes we get Cj minus Zj less than or equal to 0 and Z dash is equal to 0, and here this basic variable position, some artificial variables are not relieved. It means the artificial variables are available in this table. For that cases, the condition is reached optimality, but it is a infeasible solution. Okay. Next, coming to the table second phase. In this phase, other than the artificial variables, we have to take the remaining variables in a objective function. Okay. Then we are going to flatten the table. Here we are going to take the table. Phase 1 we had one table. Phase 1 final phase we have one table. This table. We take these all values as this, except this contribution value. We have to take these all values for the table. Okay. Like these are all we are getting from the phase 1 final table. Then here we have to take the CB values based on our new objective function. Our new objective function is minus x1 minus x2 plus 0s1 plus 0s2. This is second phase 2 objective function. From this objective function we have to take the contribution values. Here how we get these basic variables? From table 1 we get the basic variables. Okay. Then s1 and s2 are the solution variables. It means surplus variables. x2 x1 are the decision variables here. Now we are going to find the Zj value. Here where Zj means minus 1 into 1 plus minus 1 into 0. From this we get the Zj values. And Cj minus Zj. Here we are going to find the Cj minus Zj. Here all Cj minus Zj values are getting less than 0. Okay. So the current solution is optimal, hence the phase 2 is completed. If we not get the less than or equal to 0, if we get greater than 0 some value, again we have to apply the iterations, simplex iterations we have to take to satisfy up to satisfying the less than or equal to 0. Okay, the optimal solution of the new object function is here x1 is equal to 21 by 13, x2 is equal to 6 by 7, and finally we get maximum z is equal to 225 by 91. Here the original object function is what we have. The original object function is a minimization type. So just by multiplying minus 1 with this, we get the original value, that is 225 by 91. Coming to the summary. Discuss what we discussed. We discussed about two-phase method, and we solved a problem by applying the two-phase method. Okay, thank you.